And their love of this ballpark. I'll tell you what, our crew knows where to get the shots and how to best showcase this gem of a ballpark.
Crisp tonight, but pretty comfortable if you've got a sweatshirt or a light jacket. One and two on Dominguez. Shallow center. Brett Jackson on the move for the out.
First baseman, Brett Wallace.
One strike to Wallace. It was 1 for 3. Well, we also want to thank our great fans and our viewers, and so many people make watching Cubs baseball part of their daily routine. This has been a tough season for the Cubs. Hard to tell people to be patient. This will get better next year. Boy, there's so many changes made. You look at this roster from about a year ago right now to this year. We were talking before the game. I think it'll look a lot different next year around this time.
I don't think there's any question. Well, we hope not, sir. We want you to come back and enjoy Cubs baseball again next year.
Swung on and missed. It's full 3-2.
I think what we will see moving forward, and it's, you know, it's not hard to look up and down the roster and check the stat sheet and look at playing time and effectiveness of pitchers and look at some of the deeper stats of the offensive players. It's not hard to figure out who's going to be part of this team moving forward and who possibly may be with another organization next season. I mean, turnover is inevitable in the game of baseball. Very few players start and finish their entire career with the same team. Cubs are hoping Starlin Castro will be one of those guys. They're constantly looking to tweak and get better, sometimes in huge chunks of improvement, other times marginal improvement, but constantly trying to get better.
That's ball 4.
And I think there might be a few players that'll go home at the end of the season and really regret the missed opportunities that were presented to them. I mean, it was an ideal situation for a lot of guys this year. You had an opportunity to come in here to Wrigley Field, play Major League Baseball, show the new coaching staff and the new front office what you were all about and how you might possibly fit in with this team moving into the future. And quite honestly, some guys just didn't answer the bell. That doesn't mean they won't get opportunities elsewhere. They might get another opportunity here with the Cubs. But boy, for some of these guys, it was on a silver platter this year.
Well, one obvious spot that's wide open is third base. Will Ian Stewart be back coming off his wrist surgery? Will the Cubs feel comfortable with Luis Valbuena as their opening day guy over there? I think it's fairly obvious Josh Vitters needs some more seasoning before playing at this level every day.
And people who have seen a lot of Josh Vitters that he made his way through the Cubs minor league system will tell you that he always struggles at a new level initially, but then gradually gets up to speed and puts up very respectable numbers everywhere he's been. We'll have to wait and see if the same thing holds true for the major league level.
I feel like Wellington Castillo has made enough strides to go into spring training #1 on the depth chart behind the plate. This after Giovanni Soto has been the Cubs' everyday guy for several years before getting traded. And you've got Rizzo and Barney and Castro. They're locked in. Soriano will be in left. DeJesus will play center or right. Cubs have to figure out what they want Brett Jackson to do, and I think a lot of those conversations have already taken place in terms of making some pretty major mechanical adjustments with his batting mechanics. Swing and a miss, or strike 3, 2 outs. I will say this, Bob, and you know it's easy to compare Brett to Anthony Rizzo in terms of all the changes Rizzo had to make last year. They're different players, they're different people. And I'd be curious to get your opinion. I have seen enough other tools that he has where I think he can be a really good player at this level if he does make those adjustments at the plate.
Well, and it really happens to almost all hitters, even the good hitters coming up through the minor league system. When you get to the major leagues, it's a completely different animal. If you have a flaw in your swing, if you have a weakness somewhere, as we've seen repeatedly this season, opposing pitchers will find it and they'll exploit it. And it's up to you to make the adjustments not only from day to day, but sometimes from season to season. Make those adjustments that you have to make to be an effective hitter, regardless of the opposing pitcher on the mound that night or what ballpark you happen to be in. Consistently good at bats. A perfect example, and a guy that I would hope a lot of the young Cubs were watching this year, is David DeJesus. Hey, look at his numbers at the end of the season. He's hitting mid-260s right now with occasional power, but one quality grinding at bat after another all season long.
Yeah, 350 on base percentage, which definitely stands out on this team.
And it goes without saying, a lot of opportunities to be had next year on the pitching staff. A lot of guys struggled to throw strikes. Other guys struggled to miss bats. We saw flashes of what you would hope these guys would develop into, and then occasional setbacks, but jobs to be won.
Bowden goes scoreless in the top of the 9th. Last chance now for the Cubs. 3 outs to go and down 3 runs.
Today's Business Travel Challenge, Departure Dash. The other airlines versus Southwest. These businessmen are making their way through the airport.
Slow going in security for that other airline's contestant.
Uh-oh, look at their boarding process.
What a mock!
No! But the Southwest contestant chose a business select fare. With fly-by security access and priority boarding, he's breezing through.
That other guy's going nowhere fast.
Be unstoppable with Business Select. Business travelers win with Southwest.
Save big money during the Menards door sale. Enhance your home with a new Ideal garage door. Right now, all Ideal special order garage doors are 10% off. 5-star doors feature maintenance-free pre-finished white steel inside and out, a tight weather seal, and the patented Easy Set spring system, which makes adding spring tension simpler and safer. Right now, this 9x7 white premium door is just $349. This 16x7 is only $649.
Save big money at Menards.
The Mazda 3, a top safety pick with uncompromised performance. And now, it's even more fuel efficient with available SkyActiv technology. We build Mazdas. What do you drive? Test drive a Mazda 3 with SkyActiv technology today and see why it's the first 40 MPG highway sedan worth driving.
Not much offense tonight. 9 hits combined and 3 runs. And of the 3 runs, only 1 earned. Cubs have yet to score in this series as they face Wilton Lopez. Flu-like symptoms knocked him out of the mix last night as Wesley Wright filled in and got the save. This guy throws a lot of strikes.
Yeah, good fastball, good straight changeup, an occasional slider, but just pounds away at that strike zone. His fastball will sit in the low to mid 90s.
He has the lowest walks per 9 among all relievers, 0.96. Now, he's a short reliever, so he's not going to pitch 9 innings in a game. But if he did, he would walk less than 1 batter per game. And Soriano swings away. This is probably one of those rare guys, even down 3, going to have to swing fairly early in the count.
That might be the best pitch you get to hit in the at bat for a guy that is constantly around the strike zone and has a devastating swing and a miss pitch with that straight changeup. Your best chance might be to attack that first fastball.
He has walked 3 guys since June 1st. I'm not sure when the Astros last had 3 consecutive shutouts. They're 3 outs away. The last time they had back-to-back shutouts prior to the last 2 days was 2010. Charged by Dominguez, and he gets Soriano. Astros hit the ball hard a couple of times. Once he didn't and doubled.
Standing by.
Those Secret Service guys. Post-game hosts. Cap and Holly. Long run caught by Barnes. 2 outs.
Third baseman, number 24, Luis Southland.
Foul strike on Valbuena. Cubs with 6 hits in the series. Not a lot of great contact either.
No. I mean, you just look at the base hits in the ball game today. You mentioned Castro with one well-struck ball that went for a double to the gap in right center. The other one was a blooper to shallow right that Scott Moore could not come up with. Brett Jackson had a soft line drive off the hands. He was able to muscle out into right field. And Alfonso Soriano with a base hit earlier in the ball game, but not even a lot of loud outs tonight. And for some of the guys who are getting their first taste of a long major league season, that extra month tacked on at the end, that's a learning process too. Got to keep yourself physically and mentally prepared every day to play a big league ball game. And minor league season's only 140 games and usually ends right around the 1st of September. But obviously the big leagues play into October this year, and that extra month, those extra games, can be both physically and mentally taxing until you get used to it.
That's low. How about this? With 1 game to go, Adam Dunn with 2 strikeouts tonight. He's 1 away from the all-time single-season record. 222 on the year. Mark Reynolds in 09 with 223. We'll look at that tomorrow. The 3-2, and Valbuena keeps the inning alive with a 2-out walk. Popped up behind second base. Tyler Green with the catch. And for the 2nd straight night, the Cubs get shut out by the Houston Astros, a final 3-0. And for the Astros, even with 106 losses, they've dealt 3 consecutive shutouts. Well, 1 to go. Game 162. Tomorrow afternoon is Travis Wood will go for the Cubs. Right-hander Edgar Gonzalez for the Astros. And for Bob and our entire CSN crew, thanks for watching all season long. Len Casper saying goodbye from Wrigley Field. Stay tuned. Post-game coverage coming up. In-game scoring provided by ScorePad. Final tonight, Astros 3 and the Cubs nothing. You've been watching Cubs baseball all season long on Comcast Sportsnet Plus, now part of the NBC Sports Group.
You can learn a lot about a minivan from tests like this. And even more from real families who use them like this. We think there's another test to consider. It's based on one simple question. After living with your van, would you buy it again? More town and country owners do than the owners of any other minivan. It's called the test of ownership, and to us, it's the most important test there is.
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
The more you floor, the more you save. Buy one room of flooring, get all other rooms of product for only $50 each. At Luna, we work for you.
773-202 Luna.
I look good, right, I look good, right, I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good, right, I look good, right, come on. Right, come on. I look good, right.
Go inside the lives of Chicago's biggest sports stars, only on Inside Look on Comcast Sportsnet. Your questions answered.
I'm famous for two things in Chicago, striking out and getting punched in the face.
Idols revisited.
I want people to know that about my life, not what I did, but who I am.
And the stories behind the headlines revealed.
We feel that our legacy will live forever.
Catch a new interview every month with Inside Look on Comcast Sportsnet. Visit csnchicago.com for listings. Cubs Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Nissan. Get to your local Nissan dealer for special offers. Nissan. Innovation that excites. Xfinity. Your home for the most live sports. Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Midas. Midas Total Car Care. Total Customer Care. AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Honda. Visit your local Chicagoland Honda dealer for more information on current offers. This is Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Horseshoe Casino.
Well, for the third straight day, the Astros toss a shutout. Two of them at the expense of the Chicago Cubs, who again have very little offensive punch tonight. Couple doubles out of Starlin Castro. About it. Cubs lose 3-0. I'm David Kaplan. He is Todd Hollinsworth, our final post-game show of the year here on CSN, brought to you by our great partners at the Horseshoe Casino. And wow, you know, the Astros are a 106-loss club. The Cubs now a 101-loss club. But I don't think anybody saw them coming in here, and 18 consecutive innings of Cub offense, nothing.
Well, I wished I was seeing better baseball right now, but you're just not going to see it. The Cubs haven't certainly brought it the last couple days. You thought with 100 losses staring at you that you were going to get a better performance, but the offense has fallen flat. Yeah, give some credit to the Astros. They're playing hard. They're playing to win right now, but the Cubs are in the same boat, so I was expecting a little bit more, but back-to-back shutouts, no runs. Chris Volstad, pretty good tonight. But again, when you don't score, you've got no chance of winning a ball game.
All right, as you said, Volstad was okay tonight, but he gave up the big blow. Let's take a look at our Sports Authority play of the game, and unfortunately, Holly, it's a ball that left the building.
Yeah, on a 1-2 pitch, and that's the unfortunate part. We talk about Chris Volstad and hanging sliders. That was a hanging slider. Line drive, got it out of here. Gave the Astros the 1-0 lead in the ballgame. Cap, more than enough to win tonight, unfortunately, because the Cubs didn't do anything offensively. Had some opportunities. Brett Jackson got picked off second base, set the table second and third. Starlin had a huge double. Back-to-back strikeouts, killed another inning. And, you know, this is one of these unfortunate games where the opportunities, the few opportunities that the Cubs did have, they didn't capitalize on.
All right, let's go back to the base running again, because yesterday I said to you, the one thing I want to see fixed next year is the awful base running. Brett Jackson, who should know better. He's got good wheels. He has good baseball instinct. And again, we see a young Cub making a critical base running.
Yeah, it's bad baseball instinct. Darwin Barney actually squares around, and that's what gets Brett Jackson hung up a little bit. I understand it. We've all lived this experience. When you're on second base and you're thinking there's a bunt that's going to be laid down, there's potentially a play at third base. You've got to get a great jump. That's what you're thinking as a base runner. But in that situation, you must also be prepared if Darwin Barney pulls back, and that's exactly what happened. So with as much urgency as you're thinking about getting off the base, you have to think about getting back, and you didn't see that from Brett Jackson, unfortunately. He got off there, put himself in position to get the third if the bunt was laid down so that there wouldn't be a play, get a great jump, but he kind of was casually coming back to second base. You put yourself in position to get there, you bust it back to the base regardless of whether there's a throw or not, so that there is no throw. Because he was casual about it, they were able to make a play on him.
Risk reward. What is the risk and what is my reward? And instead he gets nailed.
Yeah, and you don't want to do it right there in that situation. You're mounting a rally and you're playing from behind.
All right, time now to look at our pitching recap from tonight. It was Bud Norris, who down in Houston was outstanding against the Cubs. His last start out, dominated the St. Louis Cardinals, took a no-no into the 6th, and tonight, again, outstanding. Chris Volstad wasn't bad. He was not bad tonight. 7 innings pitched, far better than the effort he put up last week in Colorado. And tonight, if you watch him, you go, we saw some things we kind of like, but the offense did nothing for him.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes pitching behind can be easier, but I will say this: Chris had a great, a great game to finish on. I'm happy for him. It's been a tough year statistically, and we've all had eyes. He had a great tailing fastball tonight. He was making pitches, understood that there was a little more leeway on the outside part of the plate. Went to it, made pitches out there, stayed out there, and could continue to get those calls. 6 strikeouts for him tonight. Again, really the only homer. The homer was the only damage that was really his, so a solid effort, solid 7 innings.
Okay, let's talk about Bud Norris, because this is not Bud Cy Young here, but he has had some success, but he's got a bloated ERA, yet you watch him tonight, and you think Justin Verlander was pitching, because the Cubs did nothing with him.
Well, in a way, it's summed up the season, Cap. You know that Bud is, he's got this capability. He certainly can go out there and dominate a team, and he did tonight. He got some help from the Cubs, and really that's what it comes down to. The Cubs got him in the stretch, got him in a position to wilt, to maybe make some mistakes, and they helped him out. He didn't even have to make any pitches to get out of those jams. He did on the strikeouts, but again, once he got the second out, the pressure was off. He could take a deep breath. He had runners on second and third, made his pitches with a base open, and you've got to recognize those situational hitting, as we talked about in the pregame show. You've got a base open. Let's see what Bud's going to do. Swing, 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 and those at-bats were over quite quick.
All right, time now to hear from manager Dale Swaim, brought to you by our great corporate partners at Xfinity.
Yeah, I mean, deja vu of last night. Not a lot of, at bats. Not a lot of quality at bats again, and left some guys out, striking out with guys in, scoring position again. It's kind of typifying the whole season these last 2 nights, swinging the bats. Yeah, Volstad, besides the home run, threw a really good game. A lot of weak contact, a lot of jam shots. Did a great job. Had a good sinker. Was actually executing all his pitches really well. Did a good job.
What does it mean to go into an offseason with a good taste in your mouth? Does that help you at all for the next spring?
No, I mean, I think it always does. I think, whenever you go in, to a winter, when, you finish good as a starter, whether you're swinging the bat really well going into the winter, you kind of, have a lot better winter. You sleep a lot better. So it makes a big difference how you finish.
Have you thought about what you'll say to the team tomorrow for the last game?
I already did that.
Concerned at all? Is it going to carry over into the last game? You guys just want to get out of here?
Well, we'll have another lineup in there tomorrow. So most of those guys will pretty much have the day off tomorrow. We'll play a lot of the other guys tomorrow. Probably start Castro at shortstop and might get him out of there early, but see how that goes. I'll talk to him about it if he just wants to stay in the whole game or whatever. But I think for the most part the season didn't go very well, obviously, but a lot of these guys deserve to kick back, and it's kind of the way things are done. The way I think they should be done is just let them sit back and watch a game for once. Ask Sorry if he wanted 110 RBIs or whatever, and he goes, no, I'm fine. I'm done. Travis. Oh, what about him? Oh no, he'll pitch. He'll be the normal. Yeah, he'll be 9.
All right, Dale Swaim there laughing. They said Travis Wood, you're going to let him go 5. He said, no, he'll go the normal 9. So
good luck.
We'll see what happens tomorrow. You expect to see a lot of guys run in and out of the lineup. He said he'll give Castro the opportunity, if he wants to play all 9, to play tomorrow the entire game, but he will start at shortstop. The rest of the lineup is going to be kind of a hodgepodge mix and match, give some guys a chance in the final day. But in talking with some players, and I've talked to a bunch of them over the last couple of weeks, I haven't found one guy who doesn't absolutely love playing for Dale Swain. They said, look, it's been a tough year. We haven't won a lot of baseball games. But they said he has held our locker room together. It is a different environment here from what it was a year ago. That says a lot for Dale Swain when you have a club that's lost 101 or 102 ball games this year.
There's no doubt. I mean, the circumstances are what they are. Most of us understood what this team was going to be coming into this season, and Dale has done a fantastic job playing the cards that he's had. Now, they're not as good as some other teams, but I will say this, for the most part this year, I'm not going to talk about the last couple weeks, because the last couple weeks, even for me, has been very, very disappointing. I would have liked to have seen a lot better effort and not so many of these mental mistakes. Because, again, Dale touched on it, moving into the offseason, this is what you take with you. I mean, you can look back at the season and say we lost, but you look at your individual performance, you always kind of go back to that last 2 or 3 weeks to build off of it moving forward. So it's been unfortunate in that aspect, but they've remained competitive for the most part, and that's what you've got to be proud of. These guys have come to work every day. They've worked hard. They've tried to get better, and we've seen the improvement. We've seen a better defense. We've seen the shifts being played. We've seen Alfonso Soriano get better defensively. Darwin Barney, ridiculously solid season at second base, and only, I hope, that ends with a Gold Glove. But again, this is a team that's got some work that needs to be done this winter in order to get better, and hopefully a lot of these mental mistakes go away.
All right, we've got to take a timeout here on our post-game show brought to you by Horseshoe Casino. There is Tom Ricketts, still thanking some of the paying customers on the final night game here of the season. We'll be right back on Comcast Sportsnet.
Traveled all this way. Make it worth their while.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Cholula Hot Sauce, the flavorful hot sauce with the iconic wooden cap.
Wow, you guys have it easy. I wish I had U-verse when I was your age. In my day, we didn't have these fancy wireless receivers. If I had a sleepover, I couldn't just move the TV into the playroom. No, we had to watch movies in the den because that's where the TV outlet was. And if Dad was snoring on the couch, we muscled through it. For real? Your generation has it made.
The wireless receiver, only from AT&T UVerse. Get a free wireless receiver with a qualifying UVerse plan. Rethink possible.
I look good, I look good, I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good, I look good, come on. Right, come on. I look good,
When is the best time for mouth-watering wings? Game time. Family time. Party time. Anytime. Enjoy Wingstop's regular or boneless wings in 10 mouth-watering flavors. Cooked to order with a variety of fresh homemade sides to choose from. Wingstop, the wing experts.
Now 3 on this rare collection of baseball cards. I'm at 33. Right there. Once again, all going to charity. Now 4. Now 5. Now 6. Now 7. I'm at 37. Now you're gonna kick yourself if you don't go home with this box of baseball history. Now 8. Not only done. Sold it. 3,800 right there to that lucky gentleman.
Transfer funds from anywhere with mobile banking. Get started today at BMO Harris Bank.
Now listen to me. I've seen you grow as players and grow as a team. And no matter what happens out there, you will walk out of this locker room better than when you walked in. Win or lose, you are all champions.
These have always been the rooms where teams are built, and Sports Authority will always supply just the right tools. Because we have everything for every team with unbeatable values. Sports Authority, all things sporting good.
Sports Authority is proud to be the official sporting goods retailer of the Chicago Cubs. Sports Authority, all things sporting good.
Time now for our Four Seasons heating and air conditioning. Who's hot and who's not so hot? How about at home this year? How about Ryan Braun? Wow, 24 home runs, bunch of RBIs, and an OPS over 1,000. His teammate Corey Hart right there with them with outstanding numbers. And Jay Bruce from the division-winning Cincinnati Reds. Who's icy cold? No Ricky Weeks sighting here, but Ike Davis. I mean, really nice effort by Ike at home. Wow, really struggled at Citi Field. Clint Barmas struggled. And there for the Reds, Drew Stubbs gives you some good speed, but really did not do much in the way of offensive productivity. Time now for our UPS store taking care of business play. Taking care of business to give me a key performer win for the season would be Starlin Castro. A pair of doubles tonight.
You won. You won hands down. I'm trying not to laugh too hard. This is the highlights offensively.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just not getting much, and you won with a couple doubles. I'll give you some props, but I will say this: the last two were nice. He had a couple nice doubles in this ball game as well. I should say a nice line out and a nice double.
He did.
A nice win.
The line out in the 9th inning, but again, not much in the way of offensive productivity from the Chicago Cubs tonight. Time now for our Subway winning box score, and for the second straight night, it belongs to the Houston Astros. And take a look at some of the numbers. There's Altuve not doing much at the top. There's not a ton of activity there, but Tyler Green with a couple of knocks, and of course the home run tonight from Castro, and that was enough for a victory.
Well, Jason Castro did hit. I mean, he hits the home run. They scratched across a couple other runs. If you think about the third run of this ball game, a walk, an error by the pitcher, gets him into scoring position. They move him over with a ground ball, and he scores on a wild pitch. So, I mean, it's
finding a way to get the job done.
Adding on, doing some things. We haven't seen a whole lot of that from the Cubs lately.
All right, time now for our Wingstop play. And for our Wingstop play, one of our great sponsors here, it's our Wingstop of the week. Watch Brett Wallace. And there is the 3-6. Nice job, Anthony Rizzo. Get it over to Starlin Castro. Well executed.
Yeah, it makes a nice play fielding the baseball. Great throw into second base right there. Lefty, that's why the throw is there. It's simplest. You want to put yourself in position to make a throw to the inside part of the bag. Starlin grabs the ball, makes a great tag. He made it look easy.
Yeah, that's the second night in a row where they were able to tag somebody out who never even got to the bag. Last night we had Altuve. He slid in 5 feet short, got up and went back to the dugout.
It's anticipating a play, and they're putting themselves in position to make those plays. Anthony got himself in position, made the play, and made a great throw. It wasn't a throw over the shoulder of the runner. It was a throw on the inside part of the bag. You can make a nice, clean catch and tag.
All right, time to take another break here on the post-game show. Brought to you by Horseshoe Casino. We'll be right back.
The more you floor, the more you save. Buy one room of flooring, get all other rooms of product for only $50 each. At Luna, we work for you.
773-202 Luna.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Cholula Hot Sauce, the flavorful hot sauce with the iconic wooden cap.
Time out there, buddy.
Brian Urlacher?
That's me, here to defend you from DirecTV's so-called big deal. DirecTV raises your bill 100% after a year, and they lock you into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $2,500 bucks.
Can't afford that.
That's why your best play is Xfinity. The biggest plays on Sunday, live. The best of college football, and you can take the action wherever you go.
Hey, Brian.
No pixie dust, just pigskin. Yeah! Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call today.
Table one. They traveled all this way. Make it worth their while.
We're lucky. It's not every day you find a companion as loyal as a Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
We fight fires together. We become a family. This family, everybody comes home.
Chicago Fire premieres October 10th on NBC5 Chicago.
Save big money during the Menards Oktoberfest sale. Give your home a fresh look with aluminum soffit and fascia from Cell-Even. They're low maintenance and help ventilate your home. Available in 14 colors, all Cell-Even soffit products are 10% off. Protect your home from water damage with Spectra aluminum gutters. They're maintenance-free and won't rust or crack. 10-foot pieces in white, brown, or clay are $1.99 each after rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Cubs Postgame Live is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
3-0 the final, 3-5-1, just a little bit better than 0-4-2. Second straight night the Cubs failed to score at all against the 106-loss Houston Astros. Look at tomorrow's starters to close out the season, Holly.
Well, you got Travis Wood. Hopefully gives you maybe your best performance of the season. I'm hoping he brings it tomorrow because we want to get a win the last game of the season. It has not been good these last couple weeks, but let's get it done. Get out there and get a win.
All right, we'll see what happens. Cubs at Stros will close it out, and here's a little fact for you. Houston's first ever game in the National League against the Chicago Cubs. Their last ever game in the National League as they moved to the American against the Chicago Cubs. So a little bit of trivia. For our great crew here all season long, for the best partner going in the business, Todd Hollinsworth. For our directors, our producers tonight, Jeff Nelson, Terry Cortez, a great crew out here at Wrigley. Thank you for all of the great work all season long, and thank you for watching. Know that's been a little bit of a down season, 100 losses, but we'll be back next year. Hope for better things, and as Harry says, hopefully next year is the next year we've all dreamed about. Have a great offseason, everybody. We'll see you.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented by Horseshoe Casino. Nobody does more for the gambler than Horseshoe Casino. Just 20 minutes from downtown Chicago.
Table one. They traveled all this way. Make it worth their while.
Today's Business Travel Challenge, Departure Dash. The other airlines versus Southwest. These businessmen are making their way through the airport.
Slow going in security for that other airline's contestant.
Uh-oh, look at their boarding process.
What a muck!
No! But the Southwest contestant chose a business select fare. With fly-by security access and priority boarding, he's breezing through.
That other guy's going nowhere fast.
Be unstoppable with Business Select. Business travelers win with Southwest.
Wow, you guys have it easy. I wish I had U-verse when I was your age. In my day, we didn't have these fancy wireless receivers. If I had a sleepover, I couldn't just move the TV into the playroom. No, we had to watch movies in the den because that's where the TV outlet was. And if Dad was snoring on the couch, we muscled through it. For real? Your generation hasn't made.
The wireless receiver, only from AT&T U-verse. Get a free wireless receiver with a qualifying U-verse plan. Rethink possible.
When is the best time for mouth-watering wings? Game time. Family time. Party time. Anytime. Enjoy Wingstop's regular or boneless wings in 10 mouth-watering flavors. Cooked to order with a variety of fresh homemade sides to choose from. Wingstop, the wing experts.
I look good, I look good, I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good, I look good, come on. Right, come on. I look good,
Humans. Even when we cross our T's and dot our I's, we still run into problems. Namely, other humans. Which is why at Liberty Mutual Insurance, auto policies come with new car replacement and accident forgiveness if you qualify. Visit a local Chicago office for details. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Responsibility. What's your policy?
and the first ever ES Hybrid. See your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer.
Welcome back. College football now. Sports Illustrated cover boy Manti Te'o took Notre Dame's off week to return to Hawaii following the recent deaths of his girlfriend and grandmother. Now he is back in South Bend as the 9th-ranked Irish prepare to take on Miami at Soldier Field Saturday night. Their 4-0 start also kind of pumping up the volume on the linebackers' Heisman Trophy chances. It's been 15 years since a defensive player won the honor and 25 since a Golden Domer won.
I've said this from day one. What's the definition of a Heisman Trophy candidate?